I can't believe what's going down in Ashbourne right now. While other teams are kicking back on vacation, Adam Peters is making moves that could flip the whole script for the Commanders. We've got 3 explosive updates that'll show you why this team is no longer the same old Washington. First, a hire that could completely transform our offense and has Jaden Daniels grinning from ear to ear. Second, a wide receiver who could cost $85 million and Washington is chasing him like crazy. And third, a draft decision nitrogen monoxide one saw coming, but it makes all the sense in the world. If you bounce now, you're going to regret it. This is burgundy and gold, baby. After years of watching this team struggle with offensive coordinators who didn't get what we had, we finally have a shot at bringing in someone who can take Jaden Daniels to the next level. Mike McDaniel just got fired as head coach of the Miami Dolphins, and let me tell you something. This is the best news we could have hoped for. You know who Mike McDaniel is. This dude isn't just another coordinator. He's the same guy who worked under Mike Shanahan, under Kyle Shanahan, and built one of the most creative offenses in the NFL down in Miami. And here's the wild part. McDaniel has an unbreakable bond with Dan Quinn that goes way beyond football. These two go way back. They respect each other, and they've got chemistry most coaching duos only dream of. Now, I'm telling you this. If Washington can convince McDaniel to come in as OC instead of waiting for another head coaching gig, this team is going to take a massive leap. Why? Because McDaniel is the zone-blocking run-game wizard, exactly what Quinn and Peters want to build here. Cliff Kingsbury was solid, but he couldn't give this team what it needed, a balanced physical system that unleashes Jaden's skills as both a runner and a passer. You think it's a coincidence? McDaniel got fired right when the Commanders are looking for a new OC? I don't. This has Adam Peters' fingerprints all over it. Peters knows that to go toe-to-toe with the Eagles, Cowboys, and Lions, we need an offense that's unpredictable. And McDaniel is just that, unpredictable. Creative and an absolute genius at drawing up plays. Here's where it gets interesting. If McDaniel comes to Washington, he's going to want to build his system from scratch. We've got Chris Rodriguez Jr. and Jakery Krosky Merritt, 2 young backs with talent, but are they enough for what McDaniel wants to do? I'm telling you, right now, no. McDaniel's going to want an elite running back, someone who can be the backbone of his offense, someone who can run inside, outside, and be a constant threat in the passing game. And you know who fits that bill perfectly. Jeremiyah Love from Notre Dame. This dude racked up 1,652 total yards and 21 touchdowns this season. He's explosive, he's versatile, and he's exactly the kind of player McDaniel loves. Now, I know what you're thinking. Draft a running back in the top 10? Are you nuts? And my answer is, if we have Mike McDaniel, then yes, it's worth IT. Look at what McDaniel did in Miami with Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane. He turned those guys into lethal weapons. Imagine what he could do with a talent like Jeremiyah. Love. Picture Jaden Daniels in play action, Love breaking outside, and Terry McLaurin going deep. That's unstoppable. But here's the catch. The Detroit Lions are already sniffing around McDaniel. Other teams will too. Dan Quinn needs to move fast. He's got to use that personal connection with McDaniel and convince him that Washington is the perfect fit. Not Miami, not Detroit, not anywhere else. Right here in the DMV with Jaden Daniels, with Adam Peters building a winning roster, and with a fan base that's starving for success. I believe that if Quinn brings in McDaniel, this team will be an offensive machine in 2026. And if that means we draft Jeremiyah Love at pick number 7, then so be it. Because with McDaniel calling plays, that pick will be worth every penny. Now I gotta ask you, do you think McDaniel should come to Washington? Or should we look for someone else? Let me know in the comments, because this decision is going to shape our future. If that blew your mind, wait till you hear this. While everyone's focused on Mike McDaniel, Adam Peters is quietly working to bring in one of the most underrated wideouts in the league, Alec Pierce from the Indianapolis Colts. This guy's about to hit free agency, and according to Bleacher Report, he's one of the top 10 free agents available. And let me tell you, if Peters lands him, this team's going to have one of the nastiest receiver duos in the NFC. You know who Alec Pierce is. This dude had 47 catches for 1,003 yards and 6 touchdowns this season, averaging 21.3 yards per catch. 21.3. That's not just a receiver. That's a legit deep threat. And that's exactly what we need opposite Terry McLaurin. Now, I'm telling you this. If Deebo Samuel walks in free agency, Pierce is the perfect replacement. No, he's not a WR1 like Terry, but he's the ideal complement. While Terry draws coverage, Pierce can stretch the field and make explosive plays. And with Jaden Daniels rocking one of the strongest arms in the league, that combo is going to be deadly. So why would Pierce want to come to Washington? Because things in Indy are a mess. The Colts might cut Michael Pittman Jr. in March. They already traded Adonai Mitchell, and their QB situation is shaky with Daniel Jones hurt. Pierce knows if he stays in Indy, he's stuck on a team with no direction. But here in Washington, he gets to play with a young, talented QB in a creative offense. With a GM who knows how to build a winner. Now, the issue is money. Pierce is going to want a deal similar to George Pickens, around $85 million. That's a lot for a guy who's not a WR1. But here's the thing. Adam Peters has one of the biggest salary caps in the league. We can sign him without hurting other parts of the roster. And if McDaniel comes in as OC, imagine what he could do with Pierce in his system. I believe Pierce is exactly the kind of player Peters targets. Young, talented, still growing, and with a chip on his shoulder. Because he's been overlooked his whole career. That's burgundy and gold, baby. We don't chase the flashy names. We go after the dogs with something to prove. But here's the tricky part. Other teams are in the mix. The Chargers want him next to Ladd McConkey. The Chiefs see him as a replacement for Marquise Brown. The Panthers want to give Bryce Young more weapons. So Peters has to move fast to lock this in. And here's the wildest part. If we sign Pierce, we instantly become one of the most dangerous teams in the NFC. Picture this lineup. Jaden Daniels at QB. Terry McLaurin and Alec Pierce outside. Luke. McCaffrey in the slot. And Jeremiyah Love in the backfield if McDaniel joins. That's a problem for any defense. So now I ask you, is Pierce worth $85 million? Or should we look elsewhere in free agency? Because this move could make or break our 2026 season. And just when you thought we were done, here comes the real bombshell. If Mike McDaniel becomes our offensive coordinator, the Commanders' pick at number 7 in the 2026 draft is basically locked in. Jeremiyah Love from Notre Dame. And before you start yelling that drafting a running back in the top 10 is crazy, let me break down why this is the right move. After everything we've been through with this teen years of boring, predictable offenses, we finally have a shot to build something special. And that starts with having the right pieces in the right places. Jeremiyah Love isn't just another back. This dude is a phenom. In his final season at Notre Dame, he racked up 1,652 total yards and 21 touchdowns. 21. That's straight up dominance. You think this is a coincidence? I don't. If McDaniel comes to Washington, he's going to want to build his offense around the run game with zone blocking concepts. And to make that work, you need a back who can do it all. Run inside, outside, catch passes, and block. Love checks every box. He's complete. Now, I know what you're thinking, but we've got Chris Rodriguez Jr. and Jaquarii Crosky-Merritt. Why draft another back? And my answer is simple. Because neither of those guys has Love's ceiling. Rodriguez is solid. Crosky-Merritt has upside. But Love is a game changer. He's the kind of player who can flip a game with one play. Look at what Saquon Barkley did with the Eagles this year. Look at what Christian McCaffrey does with the Niners. Look at what Derrick Henry did with the Ravens. Those teams built around elite backs and it worked. Why can't we do the same? We've got Jaden Daniels, one of the most talented QBs in the league. We've got Terry McLaurin, one of the best wideouts in the NFC. Add Jeremiyah Love, and this offense becomes unstoppable. But here's the genius part. Drafting Love isn't just about now, it's about the future. This kid is 21. He'll be in his prime for the next 8 to 10 years. And with the rookie contract, we'll have an elite back at a crazy low price. That gives us cap flexibility to sign free agents, extend our stars, and keep building a championship roster. Believe that if McDaniel joins and Peters drafts Love, this team becomes an offensive juggernaut. Picture this. McDaniel drawing up plays with Love in the backfield. Jaden Daniels running play action. Terry McLaurin going deep, and Alec stretching the field. That's a nightmare for any defense. The Cowboys won't stop us. The Eagles will have to respect us. The Giants? Still irrelevant. But we'll be dominating. Now, yeah, drafting a running back in the top 10 is a big gamble. But I'm telling you this, with Adam Peters as GM, Dan Quinn as head coach, and possibly Mike McDaniel as OC, this organization knows what it's doing. They're not making random moves. They're building a team that can compete for a Super Bowl in the next 3 to 5 years. And here's the craziest part. While other teams are still hunting for quarterbacks, we've got ours. While others are scrambling for an OC, we're about to land one of the best. While others are patching holes, we're building a dynasty dot. So now I ask you, should Jeremiyah Love be our pick at number 7, or should we go another direction? Because this pick could shape our future for the next 10 years. Look, Commanders fans, these 3 stories aren't just random. Adam Peters is making quiet moves. Dan Quinn is building something special. And we, the fans, are about to witness the rebirth of this team. Mike McDaniel as OC? Historic. Alec. Pierce as our new deep threat? Perfect. Jeremiyah Love in the draft? Genius. But here's the deal. All this depends on Peters executing his plan flawlessly. And for that to happen, this organization needs to feel the fan support. So if you believe in what's happening here, if you believe this team can chase a Super Bowl, then I need you to do 3 things right now. First, drop a comment and tell me which of these 3 stories has you the most hyped. McDaniel? Pierce? Love? I want to hear from you. Second, if you think Adam Peters is the best GM we've had in years, hit that LIKE button. Let the team know we've got their back. And third, if you want more exclusive Commanders news stuff nobody else is covering, then subscribe to this channel. Because I promise you, tomorrow we've got even more fire coming. And you do not want to miss it. This is our community. This is our family. And together, we're going to watch this team raise that Lombardi trophy. So stick with us, because the best is yet to come. And remember, hail to the Redskins!